So, on to our final inductee of the night, Mr. Gary Hanna. Prior to finding his home in the snowy tundra of Edinburgh University in 1990, Gary had the opportunity to work in 1985 National Sports Festival in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, the U.S. Olympic Festival in Durham, North Carolina in 1987, and in 1988, the Summer Olympics in Seoul, South Korea. Reading the professional organization section of his resume, one that I thought was actually for two people, but wasn't, it was just for him, Gary has served on too many things for me to list. So, District 2 Health Network and Executive Committee, the PATS Executive Board as the Treasurer, the Northwest Rep, the President-elect, the President, and the past President, the Hall of Fame Committee, the Long Range Planning Committee, as well as the Governmental Affairs Committee and the Newsletter Committee. And I'm telling you, I'm not listing them all there. There's many more. Currently, he is on the NATA College and University Athletic Trainers Committee. Gary has served the NCAA as a member of the Wrestling Task Force on Weight Management. He has been in the UPMC River Scholarship Selection Committee since 2004. Since 2011, Gary was awarded the PATS Distinguished Merit Award. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Gary Hanna into the class of the 2014 Pennsylvania Athletic Training Hall of Fame.
Wow. Scott? Wow. But don't worry. Knowing the power situation we've had here today, I thought maybe we better have a backup. So, Mr. President, Madam Executive Director, Executive Board, fellow inductees, members of PATS and Friends of the Society, wait staff, and anybody else I happen to be in the room. Let me first take this opportunity to express my gratitude and appreciation for this honor. Secondly, let me offer my congratulations to my fellow inductees of the class of 2014. Larry and Joe are just so deserving of this award, and I am both humbled and privileged to be sharing it with them. As special it is to receive this award is multiplied exponentially by the privilege of entering the hall with two colleagues who I respect so much. Congratulations to both of you. I have this reputation of kind of sprinkling my speech with certain idioms, colloquialisms, saying, quotes, or whatever terminology you want to use. My daughter, who's with us tonight, calls them dadisms, and it's usually accompanied by that famous eye roll that our children are so good at. So even though I won't be using my references to the quantity of cartridge liver pills or comparison of precipitation rates to bovine urinary production, I do want to... There's some farmers in here that recognize that one. I do want to share a couple with you that have been kind of my guiding light through the years. I'm sure everyone here can remember exactly where they were and what they were doing on that fateful day of September 11, 2001. There's a number of us in here that have another date that holds just that same significance, and that was November 22nd, 1963. And that was the date that John F. Kennedy was assassinated in Dallas, Texas. During President Kennedy's inaugural address, he offered some advice that has stuck with me over the years. Ask not what your state society can do for you, ask what you can do for your state society, or something close to that. It's been rumored that I'm just slightly passionate or opinionated about this society. Guilty as charged. I hope everyone here, and I know I'm probably speaking to the choir, just realizes what we have here. PATS is the second largest state organization in the country, and in my opinion, takes a backseat to no one in terms of leadership, organization, and activism. As President Thornton could probably tell you, as an example, this state meeting is probably more well attended and has a better academic program than a lot of the NATA district meetings. He might not tell you that, but I know he's thinking it, okay? But even in an organization of this size and this diversity, there's only so many board positions, committee chairs, committee positions available. I can't tell you the number of times I hear of members who want to get involved but are frustrated because they just don't get that call from their society. Let me tell you, involvement wears many faces and isn't limited to service in a leadership position. In fact, I'm not a big fan of the term involved, and we've been throwing it around quite a bit tonight. Involved to me means that you're here at this conference. I'm really looking for people that are committed. Commitment, if you're here, you were involved. If you went to but if you did not engage yourself on a professional level here, what did it matter? The difference, it's the old bacon and egg breakfast. Chicken was involved. The pig was committed. Okay? I'll bring more farmer stories up before it's all over. Okay? Commitment is attending these educational sessions to continue to improve your clinical practice. Being committed is reading all those publications we get from our state and national organization, okay? And being currently cognizant of the current issues of our profession. Committed is then making yourself available to your local community as the experts in all things athletic medicine. We all can't be quoted in Time magazine. But we can be quoted by our local media. When they're looking for the local perspective on national issues, you are the expert. Put yourself out there as such. Committed is reading the bylaws of the society and keeping up with all the changes. Reading the minutes of the executive board meetings that are posted on our website. And not only forming informed opinions about society issues, but calling, email, tweeting, texting, whatever, your state representatives and letting them know how you feel. That's being committed. That's serving your society. Be committed, be the pig. You know, years ago, when we first started this Hall of Fame, we unfortunately had to shoot. We were in Harrisburg and we were lobbying for our legislative efforts, and we were trying to get state legislators to come to our banquet and everything. So we moved this function to a lunchtime, and we were just so packed for time that there were people who would be standing in the back with stopwatches as we were trying to get people to go through. And one of the casualties of that was the presidential address that we used to have at the banquet every year. And I can still remember Joe Izzy pounding on the podium and telling us that we will have licensure. I remember Paula Tarosi talking about carpe diem. It just made the hair stand up on the back of your neck. Unfortunately, they never gave me that chance to get in front of the microphone, and I'm sure there's some people that are not disappointed about that. To all those former board members and those who served on all the committees I've worked with, and there's been a few, my sincerest thanks. Truly, this award reflects your efforts far more than it does mine. You just made me look good. We did great things because we had great people. I do apologize. As some of you know, our meetings had a tendency to get a little loud at times, just a little bit. And there was more than sometimes a little disagreement among the board. Excuse me. But that really was our strength, okay? No matter how quote-unquote lively that discussion got, our focus was always on the betterment of the society, and we always walked away with the utmost respect for each other. We never confused passion and anger. We never confused voice volume and commitment, and we never confused dissenting opinions with dissent. Discussion, that true airing of the pros and cons, is the basis for the growth of this society or any organization. A group that agrees with everything and expects everyone to agree with them, you're just not doing your jobs. These past couple years, it's been such a joy to me to go to the business meetings. I know it's not a joy to them up there, but to see the passion and the commitment that I see from the membership has been inspiring. You know, we've all been in that position in our jobs because we all do the same thing, where we're just asked to do more and more. That the old, we the few have done so much for so long, for so many, for so little, yada, yada, yada. We're all there. But when we face that type of adversity and those kind of demands, at least at Edinburgh, I always have this little phrase. I think it has its roots with the U.S. Marine Corps, but I heard it first from a little movie called Heartbreak Ridge. And I always tell my staff, we improvise, we adapt, and we overcome. I see that eye roll back there a couple times now, too. And that has been our mantra, and that has been the way we have tried to handle things. My thanks to all those students and grad students who have been exposed to our philosophy of athletic training over the years. I just hope you were as enriched by the experience as much as I was, okay? I have truly been blessed to work with some of the most talented and dedicated athletic trainers out there. PATS Hall of Famer, 2014 NATA Athletic Training Service Award winner, the 2014 William Griffith Award winner, Mr. George Roberts, Ms. Audrey Newman, and Dr. Rebecca Mokers. You know, I got to tell you about George. We spent a lot of time sharing the same office, and neither one of us are really known as morning people. And the staff used to complain it would look like a remake of the movie Grumpy Old Men in there before about 10 o'clock in the morning. To my staff, to Audra, you know, my thanks, just like, you know, Joe said, just like Larry said, without the people that we work with covering us when we're on the road doing things for the society, we couldn't get it done. Audra would always ask me how we're ever going to pull this stuff off, and the big prize is just you see that big red S on our chest. We just got to go do it. So Audra, I thank you. Okay. And last but certainly not least, my associate and current executive board member, Becky Mokers. For 10 years now, Becky's been my colleague, co-worker, office mate, research collaborator, running partner, and truly, truly my best friend. Thank you. And occasionally she even lets me act like I'm in charge. Only occasionally. And now for those two words you've all been waiting for. And finally. Coop, this one's for you. There's a genre of music out there that originates from my generation whose diehard fans are called parrot heads, and whose poet laureate is an artist by the name of Mr. Jimmy Buffett. Jimmy Buffett's songs have a tendency to speak to the closet beachcomber in many of us. But there is one song title that sticks in my mind, especially when I'm hearing from my family. I'm growing older, but not up. I'm so blessed with the most amazing and understanding family. I'm so proud of my 6 children. 6, that's right. Okay. And all they've accomplished. Unfortunately, they're all scattered all across the country, actually all across the world right now. But my daughter, Angela, recent honors graduate of Xavier University, is with me here tonight, and I want to thank you. I also want to give a special thank you and to recognize my lovely wife of 34 years, 8 months, and 15 days. My wife, Marcia, is the rock on which our family was built and still clings to. For words to be given, this woman deserves one far more than I do. Thank you very much. I love you. There's people waving in the back. I think it's a yellow card. Again, thank you to the board. Thank you to the Hall of Fame committee. It is truly a humbling award, and I'm just so glad that you've allowed me to serve you over the years. Thank you.